welcome to Bam Bams.
Thank you.
I'm always
I like
excited
Bam
to have
Bams,
you here.
by the way.
It's a lot easier standing in the back and watching Greg do his thing.
So, for those that don't know Cam, this is Cam at Bam Bams. Could you turn and wave? Cam, Bam Bams.
It's me.
If you just said Bam Bam, he would probably answer, but Cam is really the name,
Right.
and Bam Bams is the game.
Yeah. The game.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. Like, I'm Bam Bam.
All around great barbecuer / entrepreneur / BYU supporter / good guy, family man, husband. So yeah, Cam, Bam,
Come on.
either one, he'll answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. By the way, these are
I have
Cam's
paper.
notes because he's
I'm so
stepping in
nervous.
for Greg Rebel, and he's trying to do it, but they were moving like this, so we're just putting him down like that.
Right. That's a lot of shaking.
Yeah.
Well,
Your handwriting's nice though.
I don't write much anymore. So.
Did your wife write the questions?
No. If she wrote it, it'd be a lot more legible. I had to write slow.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
So, by the way, this, like, if we just stopped the show right now, I think it would be the best rated show that
I
we've
agree.
done of the season.
See, yeah, this is more fun.
We could
all around.
cut. We could cut. I see Rebel as kind of the middleman. We can cut him out, and
He has enough to do.
we could.
Yeah.
I don't know what we could do.
Maui, give me a break.
Yeah.
We'll just
Like
stay
that's
here.
supposed to be a job.
Yeah, we don't need him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I'm ready.
I'm supposed to ask a couple football questions.
You are?
Yeah.
All
Savannah State. That
Yes,
was
they
pretty
play
fun.
football.
Yeah, they did. They tried.
Yeah.
I appreciated their effort. I kind
So-
of felt bad for them. I found myself feeling bad for them.
Me too. So I've been in that situation a couple times. I think the worst loss in my career, 61-16 at some point. And so it's a chance to be on the other side, to really try to, I don't know, keep it as classy as possible.
Right.
And their head coach really appreciated it. Nice guy, has a huge challenge in front of him, and he had a great attitude. And he was really excited for his kids to have the experience of coming to Utah, learn about the LDS culture, about BYU, but certainly knew that he was overmatched. And but I think we handled it as best as we could for both programs.
I agree. So it's kind of hard to know in a win like that. I wasn't expecting 64-0. I mean, I knew we were a lot better than them, but I mean, as a coach, what did you see? What stood out as being an improvement?
You never know. I think the execution and being able to have Stu come out of the game midway through the second quarter with 42 points, he executed really well. And so I think we gained confidence. I think we gained execution, improvement. I think we had fun. And then we got a bunch of guys to play. And so, it wasn't a significant test, but in a lot of ways, but it was a significant test in terms of maturity and not much to play for, and inclement weather. And
They played hard.
yeah, it was good.
They were excited.
Yep. And what was probably the best part is the guys on the sideline that normally play, how they were responding when the guys that don't normally get a play were out there.
Right.
That says a lot about them.
I agree.
I think our team's unselfish.
Any surprises? Like any players that don't get to normally play that you saw
there
out
was,
there and were excited about?
There was a guy that got into the game late. Nate Carter has kind of been our other back that comes in. Well, there's another other back named A.J. Moore. And so he came in and really did a nice job. And so AJ has kind of been battling his way through our program, and he got an opportunity, and I was really encouraged. And
That's
then
awesome.
A defensive lineman, Tanner Baldery, got in and recovered a fumble and got a sack.
So one thing that I've enjoyed being in my position is getting to know you. You know, you seem like such a serious, boring person before I met you, and I was so pleasantly surprised.
Stoic, because like serious and boring together. I think equals stoic.
I hear that one all the time. Yeah. Okay, so I have some questions that I think would be fun to ask you personally, because you get asked the same dumb questions all the time, and they're all about football. And there's a lot more to you than football.
Is this where I'm supposed to be vulnerable and open, and so people can see what I'm?
Well,
really like?
You are.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's me. It's just me and you here, Bronco. Okay, just tune all these people out.
That's a big test.
Okay. Somebody wanted me to ask you if you've ever been in a fist fight.
That would be yes.
Yes. See, so much more to you.
Is that like a surprise that people don't think that I would?
Well, I don't know. You're just you seem like such a disciplined, controlled person. And so I like to hear that. I did see a YouTube video of you kind of like puffing up at a Utah fan, which just warmed my heart.
Really?
I just hate them. I hate them all.
Is that the guy that ran away?
The suspended. Yeah, that guy. That was awesome.
Yeah, so once you become like BYU's head football coach, there's like this kind of role you have to play as well. But that doesn't mean that there isn't like the other part
Sure.
that when cameras aren't on that
You can't pop someone if you want to.
you could. You just run the risk of not being the coach anymore.
Right. Well, when you're done coaching, you can come play hockey and you can get it out.
I like that.
That's what I've played. And
I might be able to have like a 20-year ultimate cage fighting career after what's pent up after my BYU
I just hired a
career.
UFC fighter.
Did you?
Yeah, he's between camps. He's full-time. Brock Jardine. So if you want to train, he's good.
So based on my exit from BYU, if he's still working here, then
We'll keep him
maybe
around.
we'll go out and hit some.
Ooh,
do you
that would
like
be so
hang the
fun.
meat like Rocky in the back somewhere? Where
I
we
told
can go
him,
kick and
we've
punch
got the
and
big
stuff?
barn back there.
Yeah, I like
it's like
that.
we can do it old school.
Save, save my training fees.
So, football, sort of a football question.
Okay.
So, I consider myself a lay football fan, okay? I played hockey
Does that mean
my
that
whole
you
life.
watch it
I
on the
watch
couch?
it, I like it, but I don't really understand it. I watch it with some of my old roomies that were played ball for you, but they seem to see things that I don't. So, is there something that you wish BYU fans like me understood about football? Is there something that we could go out and learn to make it more enjoyable, or maybe notice something a little deeper than just run, pass, tackle?
I would say just in general that sometimes a win through a defensive struggle is every bit as valuable to us defensive coaches as maybe a win that you score 60 in. And it doesn't seem like the BYU culture appreciates maybe a low-scoring victory as much, which is still just as hard, if not harder, to accomplish. And so
what are a couple things about defense that you're adjusting?
So here's the thing: is the defense is really described as match up and adjust. So here's a given call, and the opponent will come up to the line of scrimmage. The best defense is usually then, no matter what the call is that comes in, there's communication that has to happen in relation to what the opponent is in to then modify what you currently have called to make it match what they've done. And then a motion or a shift then changes the call again.
Right.
And then the down and distance certainly affects that also. Knowing that all of that is based on reaction, meaning what you do is based on what someone else does, offensively is a much easier form of football because you come out already with what you're supposed to do in mind and you know that ahead of time.
Right.
Defensive coaches are usually a little bit more twisted and anxious and anxiety driven and emotional because they never quite know what's going to happen on any given play.
Sure.
And so there's always uncertainty. And so you'll ask a defensive, well, how's it going to be? Crap, we don't know. I mean, they're always the pessimist and the grumpy, and because they never know what they're going to get. And then to have fans like not appreciate a great defensive. It might be 10-7, and then it's like there's not a bunch of celebrating and what's wrong with our team. It's like, come on.
Yeah, see that's I think the part that so when they're shifting, are the players reacting or are they looking at you guys and you're saying do this, do that?
Offensive coaches or offensive players look to the sideline to get a new signal, new card or whatever.
Right.
You'll see some defensive players now look to the side if the offense changes plays. There'll be a new call that comes in. That then still has to be adjusted to whatever the formation, whatever the motion, whatever the shift. So it just starts you, and then the players have to communicate with each other, kind of like a SEAL team out there away from headquarters, and they got to make decisions in real time. It's kind of like that.
So who's your best defensive mind? Who out there just gets it?
There's two positions that are required to do that. So our Mike linebacker, which is Zach Stout, and so they have to be able to, no matter how much noise, no matter how much confusion, they have to be able to see it and articulate it and communicate it. And then our free safety has to be able to do that. And so that's Craig Bills.
Right.
And so if those two don't have good games communication-wise, there's no chance that we play good defense. And so a lot of times,
affect everybody.
Yeah. And so if they don't have a good game through communication, you'll see the points go way up. And a lot of people might say, man, that other team's a lot better. Really, it's just those two guys with all the pressure, they have to then, in real time, be making those decisions to help everyone else.
Wow. See, I like that. Never really thought of it that way.
There you go.
Okay, dream opponent. If you could play any team next year,
Alabama at home.
Yes.
In November.
That would be awesome.
Do you have any influence over that?
I'll call Saban.
That'd be good.
This is by far the best episode yet.
It's not even close.
Yep. IMG, give me a call. I'm ready when you are.
So
we'll hash out the details.
If I'm considered like, well, I think they consider us the talent part of the show, which is,
obviously.
that's just a name. But I don't think there's room for Greg anymore.
Yeah, me either. He's too tense.
And he's like too statistically oriented and factual, and
it's like a computer.
Yeah, and the top button done up. And how
It's
do you
a
relax
Canadian
talking
thing.
to that guy?
They're cold all the time.
I think next year's show is just this.
I like this. Okay.
Now
you
that we
shut
got that
football
out of
off
the
at
way.
home. My wife gets mad at me because I come home with brisket on the mind.
Yeah.
And I look at the cameras, making sure everyone's working hard, the line's big.
So, try really hard. That might be an episode for Holly to come in and sit right here and ask her.
That.
Because I could say I shut it off, but then she might say, no, you don't. Or she might say, yes, he does.
Right. She seems like a pretty tough lady. I think she's somebody that would be like,
taskmaster.
pull your head out, Bronco.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get
So
to
the first thing she says, if I have any attitude at all, we're not your assistant coaches and we're not your players. Usually the first thing when I come in the door, if she senses any kind of attitude,
Right.
even before I say anything, we're not your coaches, we're not your players.
I love it. Normal guy.
And then sometimes she'll
problems.
say, go back out and come back in. Or we now have a barn where there's animals, and
Right.
she'll say, go out there for a
Go out
while.
and pick up some poop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I like, by the way. It's
Hey,
therapeutic.
they're right.
Yeah.
Well, you're stoic.
Yeah.
And you need your alone
Well,
time.
at least I am
That's what the press says.
on camera.
Right. Do you do that on purpose?
Pretty much.
Is that really you?
Pretty much.
What's like your biggest pet peeve with the press? Because you seem a little bit annoyed. Well, no, a lot annoyed a lot of times.
It's my least favorite because they're not interested in the truth.
That's the thing. Like, they're just worried about their jobs,
Yeah,
right?
and whatever I say, it's going to be whatever they wanted to say.
That makes so much sense.
Are-
This has been the funnest episode yet,
And the best.
and the best. So we got to do the chalk still.
So with IMG, here's what I think. If this
taking notes?
If this webisode is watched by more people than our Rebel episodes,
Right.
then it's just us next season.
So if we get 78 people to watch this, this was really fun. I actually really appreciate
That's
you
good.
talking to me like this.
So am I drawing the picture today, or are you drawing the
No,
picture?
you're drawing the picture.
Really?
I can't bend down that low.
So I don't know what Cal's looks like.
Pretty much cursive, right? Cal cursive.
Is it cursive? Let me have anyone got a visual? Okay, did you look? Show that what he just did. Somebody show that. Yeah, that's gonna tell me what to do. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's got the underline coming back on the L.
There we go. Okay, I like that. So it's got that kind of thing happening. Oh, that's a little tricky.
I'm
'cause
kind of depressed right
it
now.
goes that way first.
This is the last one. Are
Is
we
it?
doing this for the bowl game?
I don't know.
I think we should.
That's what that was supposed to look like.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. That's one of my better.
It's definitely a step up from last week.
Yeah, it's not saying much,
Hey.
is it?